I'm just doing a quick follow-up to my Ford Ranger Super Duty video on what might convince me to get rid of the 79 and get a Ford Ranger. And the main thing I'm going to say is going to be the engine. So I got a bit of stick on the previous email from someone who said that that car is a 12-second 0 to 100 car, and from driving it I just completely disagree. My 79 official figures are, for the 4-cylinder auto, I think 11.1, and it's so much slower than that. Even though I'm loaded up with 700 kilos on the back, I'm still faster than an empty Ford Super Duty. So the best I could find was a test by, I think it was called Cars Guide. They did a 0 to 100 and they got 14.1.
Where things start to diverge a bit is in the tuning of the V6 engine for this application. So we actually did do a standing 0 to 100 test in this thing, and it came out as like 14.1 seconds.
And I'd believe that. So my 15-second was a bit of an exaggeration, but you know, it's YouTube. Maybe call it the Super Duty Sport, like Range Rover have done with their full-fat Range Rover, back down to the Range Rover Sport for the smaller one. And what I'd like to have is, say, a 4.5 tonne GVM on the car, but only 3.5 tonne towing. That'd be fine for me, and I would expect it to be fine for thousands of other people as well. Not many people need to tow 4.5, but having the GVM high on the car is certainly great. So that means instead of a GCM of 8,000 kilograms, it'd drop down to a GCM of 7,000 kilograms, because I'm chopping a tonne off what it can tow from 4.5 to 3.5. And that would mean that you could possibly put in the 184 kilowatt motor out of the standard Wild Track. So you'd have the same power as the Wild Track, reduced towing capacity, but still higher than the standard Wild Track because of that big chassis. And it's got increased cooling. I think the fan went from an 800 watt fan to a 1000 watt fan, and I think in general the cooling system is supposed to be 25% better than the standard, like the normal version Ranger. So I think a new model in the lineup called a Super Duty Light or a Super Duty Sport, something like that for people who don't need to tow 4.5 tonnes, would be a nice slot in and give it the 184 kilowatt motor. You'd make a lot of people happy, I reckon. If Ford could do that, I think they'd have people like me much more interested, but I guess they won't, so I won't, so I'll be sticking with the 79. Anyway, I just thought I'd post up my inspiration of how Ford could probably get people like me across the line with the 184 kilowatt engine in the Super Duty, because that frame, everything else that goes with it is fantastic. So that's it for this one. See you later.